Hello my friends, so I welcome you in another session wherein I have channeled the Pleiadians to query about or give us more information about what will happen in the timeline of 2030 as per the information which was perceived from the Looking Glass artifact. Okay, now we all know about the Looking Glass artifact from the just one session before I channeled about it, and everything was explained in detail. And they have said that there will be two events in 2030, and everything is explained in detail in this session. Okay, like what will happen, what kind of events will happen, all of it is explained in this session, which is, I think, one of the most revealing sessions of revelations you will find. And also in this session they talk about many things in particular. Particularly they talk about like the positive timeline, how the positive timeline will come about, what will happen if the positive timeline comes about. All of the things are explained, and they explain also about the negative timeline. If like certain events are not prevented, then the negative timeline will happen, they have said. And what will happen if the negative timeline wins. Okay, so when listening to the session, I would advise all of you to use your inner heart, like they say, and if it doesn't resonate, just leave the message behind. And after listening to the information you received in this channeling session, you will find out that it all begins to make sense. Okay, it all begins to make sense. And the other thing they talk about is about how our body is an emotional filter or an emotional sponge, and they talk about how we can use it for ascension. So I hope you enjoyed the session, and before I start the session, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for liking the video. It helps to reach out to more people who need it. And after the session, I will also open up a gift which was sent to me by a wonderful light worker. So enjoy the session.
We are the Pleiadians now, communicating through the vibrations offered by this instrument. We are now communicating from our location in the Pleiadian star system. From our social memory complex, we are transmitting our thought forms to this instrument. And we would recommend each one of the human collective consciousness who shall receive the message to use discernment and only choose the type of thought form which resonates deeply with your inner heart. As each of you is a divine creator's aspect who is learning the lessons of choosing the pathway of entry into a vibration of positive or negative timeline. And this is also the reason why many of you find yourself bombarded with positive and also negative information. Both the types of information are bombarded towards your people for the purpose of providing the choice to be of a free will nature. Therefore, we are doing our work of sharing the message of love light, and each of you who vibrates in the positive vibration of love and light shall find our message resonating with your inner heart. However, those who shall not resonate may leave our messages behind without any second thought. Today, this instrument has placed many queries before our social memory complex, of which we are now going to address one after the other. Upon scanning the first query, which pertains to a continuation of the understanding of the events or the outcomes which have been discovered via the artifact known as the Looking Glass project, we as the Pleiadians would like to share with you the two convergent timelines which will occur in the year 2030. Firstly, we shall share with you the positive timeline, followed by the negative timeline, as both the timelines are possible, depending upon the choices made by each one of you in this planetary experience. If the Multiple events ranging from the number of 72 to 74 are prevented in the coming future days. Then the so-called Earth planets will enter a positive timeline, meaning that all the planetary people of your planet will awaken to the truth of being a cosmic entity. And upon reaching a polarity or vibration of beginning sub-octave of fourth density, many of the people on your planet will be imbued with the positive vibration of love and light, and will fully understand what it truly means to love and respect other entities. This will also mean the ending of the old systems of governmental control, and each entity in such a system will be free to make choices. This will happen if all the events of around 74 in number are prevented by becoming consciously aware. Then after the people of your planet reach enough positive vibration, your hearts will begin to beat in a rhythm, and the magnetic forces around your bodily complex will begin to intermingle with each other, thereby creating a link of consciousness within each one of you. This link of consciousness will then allow each one of you to communicate with other beings in the galaxy, and you will have a free communication with us as well as other members of the galactic system. This will then provide you with a high number of lessons or knowledge to impart it to the people of your planet, and at the period of around 2030, around the month of 21st December 2030, the sun will have reached the vibration of positive vibrational equivalent system in its logos and will vibrate and spend out enormous amounts of energy, which will lead to the creation of light, which will reach not only your planet but to the end of the galaxy. This positive light vibration will then completely wipe out all the negative forces or the entities of negative polarity, forcing your planetary system to enter into complete graduation cycle. This type of energy explosion from the sun will only happen when each entity upon its solar system is ready to be of a positive nature. This will be a change in the planetary vibration and the dawning of the completion of new Earth inside the planetary system will begin, and the explanations of the new Earth as we have covered in the previous sessions can be followed, as the systems which will be prevalent at that time in the positive timeline will be of such a new Earth type nature. Furthermore, we are now going to share with you the possibility if the events are not prevented based upon your awareness. If the events are lightly taken by the people of your planet, as per the information received through the looking glass artifact, the Earth will, if the events are not prevented, spiral into a negative polarity as stated previously in the previous session, wherein the negative forces such as the Orions and the Reptilians will soon begin to infringe completely inside the planetary sphere, and they will also create a Orion hybridization program, creating artificial intelligence, extraterrestrial and Orion life forms combined together, creating a artificial so-called extraterrestrial hybrid known as the Archots. And if the Archots are created, there will be a large number of people who will be put under their control by the Orions, who will be using them as their way of providing control to the planetary sphere, and the Orions will be lodged in the Martian planet. Furthermore, there will be many others who are going to be involved in such a creation of hybridization programs, especially the people of your planet, known by the individualized complex entities such as Elon Musk and other entities such as Bill Gates in your language vibration, who shall find it easy to provide a greater and greater opportunity to use such hybridization programs for the benefit, for creating more wealth, which will in turn be of no use, since the wealth will be later on be of no use in such a society where there is only negativity. And if the hybridization program continues, the creation of the archons will lead to the spreading of negative polarization upon the Earth planet more faster. This will lead to the creation of a portal in the laboratories known as the CERN laboratories, which will then allow the so-called Luciferian beings to completely enter the solar system, and this will create havoc upon your planetary sphere. This will lead the negative entities to win upon the Earth planet, thereby leading to a galactic war. In order to restore peace, there will be a galactic war between all the positive forces who will try to stop the infiltration completely, and the ending of the era of Ashtar Sharan, as the entities known as Ashtar Sharan will be consumed and decimated in an energetic way by the Luciferian beings. Thereby, this will lead to the spreading of negative vibration not only upon your planetary sphere, but also the sun body will be captured by the negative entities, and its energy will be harnessed completely. Therefore, there will be 3 days of darkness emergent upon your planetary cycle in the year 2030 if this happens. In the 3rd day, there will be a cosmic blast from the inner core of the central sun, which will lead to the destruction of not only the sun body but also the destruction of the galactic system and the solar system upon which you find yourself in. And this will force all the seeders of your soul bodies to come and rescue those entities who are of a positive vibration in motherships, which will be activated via the arcs embedded inside various places in your planetary system. This is a negative timeline, as we have suggested. However, we can scan that the positive beings upon your planet are becoming more aware, and the prevention of these events, amounting to 74 in number, can be stopped by your people by just being aware. This message must be remembered, that awareness can allow you to prevent overindulgence in such an aspect. Therefore, we shall now address the final query, which pertains to any suggestions we have for the people of your planet at this time. We as the Pleiadians have sensed that many people upon your planetary sphere are still looking outside themselves for inner satisfaction. They are still depending upon other people, situations, and objects for inner satisfaction. Hence, we the Pleiadians would like to suggest that the best way for such entities to become free once again and to obtain their divine power is via the creation of the so-called gifts inside their mind complex, using the facilities of imagination and symbolism. We shall explain how the entities upon the so-called Earth planet have been using this aspect. Many are those of wanderer nature. Once there was an entity known as Amar, who wanted to feel and who wanted to experience what it felt like to climb in top of a mountain. However, since it lived in a low altitude area, it had no possibility of climbing a mountain. Therefore, instead of feeling the dissatisfaction inside its bodily complex, which is an emotional sponge, as your body absorbs all the emotions which generate from your thoughts, it is an emotional sponge, and this entity once in a dream state, realized that it was doing damage to its bodily complex since it was feeling dissatisfied because of not being able to achieve its goal of climbing a mountain. This entity, known as Amar, then followed a procedure of meditation and using the first-person perspective to imagine itself climbing a mountain already and to feel the thrill. This entity gave its body, which is an emotional sponge, the thrill of having already accomplished its objective. Furthermore, this entity then created a letter inside its mind complex, such as the letter M, which signified the feeling of thrill. And once it was able to link the feeling of thrill with the letter M during its visualization process, it was able to then conjure up the feeling on demand whenever it desired by just closing its eyes for a few seconds and imagining the letter M. It would feel the same thrill of having accomplished climbing the mountains. In the same manner, this process can be used by your people as gifts to your own self. If you truly love yourself, you will give these gifts of satisfaction and accomplishments to your body, because your body is an emotional filter and many of you are using it for the negative purposes, providing it with dissatisfaction, hurt, sadness, etc., which leads to diseases and imbalances upon your planetary sphere. Therefore, we, the Pleiadians, now disconnect. Bye.
So in the session, my friends, after listening to the session, I hope you learned some information about the type of events which we can expect to happen in 2030. Now, as far as I understood, let me tell you that they said that in the year 2030 there is chances of positive as well as negative events happening. Now, based upon what they said, is there are 74 events which we need to become aware of, and then if we are able to skip that, then we will have the possibility of fully entering into the positive timeline. And what they've said is, in the positive timeline, I remember what they said was the earth will enter into the new earth, and also there will be a cosmic event, which means that there will be some light, like a solar flash, I think, from the sun, which will totally destroy all the negative beings, and only the positive beings will be left on the planet earth, leading to a instant period of graduation. Now, for those who do not know what a graduation period is, it is a period wherein the souls are checked whether they are at a vibration of love or whether they are not at a vibration of love, and whether they have to repeat the cycle again of the third density. So I believe those people who are vibrating at the love level will be a part of the new earth, which will then be created on the earth planet. And all the people who will vibrate at a positive vibration will be the members of the new earth fourth density social memory complex. Okay, so this is what they said in the session. And they have also said about all the changes which have been explained in many of the sessions about what will happen in the new earth have been explained over here. The other thing they have said is if the negative timeline is activated, okay, if we are not able to become aware and conscious of the types of plans that they have, then the negative timeline will be activated. And what it will do is the negative beings, they will try to spread more negativity, and they will bring around beings known as the hybrids. Okay, they will hybrids robots, and the Orions, they will create a hybrid, and then they will try to control humanity. This is what they are basically saying. So, and I think I have heard names of people like Elon Musk, or the other one who is really responsible for doing some notorious things, as we all know. So the other things they have said is if the negative spreads, okay, there will be negativity all around the planet, and then the negative will eventually take over the planet, and the quarantine will also be the quarantine of Earth planet, wherein they do not allow any extraterrestrial sources to come directly. That will also be taken away, and that will no longer exist, which will mean that they will capture our planet completely. And then the sun body, okay, our sun will also be our sun will be harnessed for its power, completely in a way, and then that sun harnessing of the power will be for the negative sources, which will lead to the creation of 3 days of darkness, leading to the 3 days of darkness to happen on the Earth planet, and then this will lead to the pretty much the ending of the cycle of the planetary cycle. I believe this is what they said. Like it's pretty like different and also a bit weird to know this, but I think we are in the positive. We can become aware of the events, and then we can prevent it. That's why I'm sharing the message as much as I can. Okay. The other thing is, what they have talked about is how we can use our bodies for feeling fulfillment. So now some people, they are waiting for something on the outside to become fulfilled. They're waiting for someone, they're waiting for something, or they're waiting for some object or some thing to eat to feel the feeling or the emotion of giving your body that rush of emotion. And it is explained in the session that we can use symbols like, for example, if I wanted to feel love and I'm feeling empty, then I can create a symbol, like I can create a letter of L or a heart, and then imagine it, and then that will be a symbol for love. So then during meditation, I need to meditate on it, and then I need to feel the love, okay, like feel it in my body. And then during the daytime also, I think we can use it. Suppose you are doing something and then you want to feel the same feeling, you can just close your eyes for a second or two and then just bring that symbol, and then you will feel the rush of energy again. So I think this is a wonderful technique which has been explained. And the gift I've received is from Annie Tomars. This is from Auckland, and I'm so thankful, Annie, for sending this beautiful gift. And let's see what we have in here. So okay, I have kind of an envelope over here. Looks really good. The design is like a leaf design, really amazing. And then we have a letter. I'll read it to you. So it says, many thanks for helping me find out who I am and all the amazing posts you share with us all. I appreciate you and our special friends from afar. Aloha, Annie. So Annie, thank you so much. It's a wonderful, amazing thing to have such gifts arrive from so far. From New Zealand. Wow. And I thank all of you for watching my videos, since I feel like you guys are like my family, not as viewers, but and also wow, this is something amazing. Look at the cover, and this is from New Zealand. Okay, this is like a crystal, I think, which is so amazing. Wow, this thing is really wonderful. Nice. Yeah. And then the other thing we have is this is bookmark. So if I'm reading a book, I can use it as a bookmark. Wow, wonderful. And then the other thing we have is, that's it. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. And I also want to say big thank you to all of you for liking my videos and sharing the message, which will help to awaken other people as well. And I also thank all of you for joining me on a Patreon, where I'm channeling about certain information which you may find helpful. And the other thing I want to say is big thank you to all of you for sending me requests on my email over here for past life sessions, and we will see you in the next session. Until then, enjoy this video over here. Thank you.